never seen this kind of love before.
The program you're about to watch contains stories of real people. Today, as you watch, expect to be inspired, transformed, and healed. Welcome to Peculiar Moments Global, where every moment is supernatural. Your love story is next.
My name is IBIENE George from Rivers State, Calabari precisely. I'm a designer and also a caterer. I'm on the spotlight of Peculiar Moments Global, and this is my story. I'm a mother of 3. I got married far back 2003, November 10th, 2003. I got married, and to me, I got married to a man I love and that loves me then. But along the line, I don't know what went wrong. Everybody knows ups and downs, keep praying. But then I noticed one thing about my husband at then. He was this brutal person. So because I grew up with my parents, and then I always call myself the home child. When I mean the home child, that's because I have so many grandmothers around me, great grandmothers around me. So they always teach us about tolerance, talk about tolerance as we are growing up, and I got to see my mother was a Christian, not just a Christian, but she's really, really a godly child, and my father too was the same. So I was like, okay, I will tolerate, I will endure, I will bear it, because I call myself an home child. I felt I'm going to endure to the end. I tried. I stayed in that marriage for 7 good years. During these 7 years, I've gotten my 3 kids. I was still in the marriage. We traveled out of the country, and then from where we went to, my husband said he's coming. That's where the main, breaking of this marriage started. But apart from that, we have been having this, ups and downs, violence, and I'm praying about it, saying I will stay because my mom knew my father, according to her, is the only man she knew, and up to date, even when my father died, she is still there. She never married another man. So I was saying I'm going to take my mother's footstep, but it didn't work like that. It didn't work like that. So we traveled out 2009, December 28th December, we traveled out of the country, Nigeria. We traveled out Nigeria to Ghana for a full relocation. I sold my shop. I was a professional hairstylist. Up till now, I'm still a professional hairstylist. So people know me as then. I was known by a lot of people, So moving out of the country, I was excited that I'm traveling, place I've not gone before. January 2010, my husband said he's coming back to Nigeria to come and bring one of our cars that we couldn't sell back then. So I was with the children back in Accra. He left us on the 10th of January and came to Nigeria, sorry. So came back to Accra on the 24th of that same January 2010. So when he came, as usual, you missed your husband, but that very day I could remember his attitude was like, I've never noticed something like that before. But that day when he came back, it was like, you know, I noticed that he was not happy, he's not welcoming, it was like things it was a bit strange. His attitudes was a bit strange for me. But I was like, maybe the stress, I don't want to start questioning him why he was behaving like that. But on that day, after giving him lunch, he went out, and then I decided to take his bags to bring out things that need to be washed. And I now find out I found a slip, a receipt slip, and this slip, the name on that slip was one of his girlfriends. I've not met her before. While we are in Nigeria, I knew very well that he was dating somebody bearing that name. So coming to see that name there in Accra, I was like, is it that as he went to Nigeria, he brought this person to Accra? I was just thinking. So the thing, what I saw now warrants me to start searching all the bags, the pockets, and then I finally saw another document again. That evening I was not myself at all, and I believe no woman will see such thing and will be herself, like your husband and is filling a form that bears another woman's name, and his next of kin to that woman she is his own next of kin. I was mad. But then he was not around. So when he came back, I was so angry. I told him I want to have a word with him. I confronted him. He started getting angry. His normal violent lifestyle came up that night. So, and that night too, me too, I was like, hell will fall today. In fact, we'll create a noise that immigration will come and sack us. So I was just ready for anything, because I was mad, and I was like, you have children, you couldn't even use any of your children to do your next of kin. You rather choose to use your girlfriend to do your next of kin. Do you know the meaning of the gravity of, because this is how it starts. By the time maybe house document or land and property. So I was just angry. I was mad. And that day, I got the beating of my life. It's a sad one, It's a very, very sad one. But I still thank God that I came back alive, or I came out alive. I got bruises all over my body. My eyes were swollen. My eyes was filled with blood stain in my eyes. It was so bad. So I ran to a nearby police station, and then they have a unit in that police station. I think that place is called Wajo. They call it Wajo in Accra, Community 14 Police Division. So they have this Wajo office in that police that very branch. So they now showed me the place I'm going to lay my complaints and things. So being a foreigner, them too, they are being careful in coming into people's marriage. So, but if you are a Ghanaian, there is a way they handle such things. But they were asking of, are you sure it's the one that beats you? I believe all they are trying to do was to make me calm, But that day, I was like, no, I don't want this marriage again. That is enough. I don't want the marriage again. So they were like, calm down, they will handle it. They invited him. He lied. Started telling them how I was wearing a bomb short skirt. He never expected me wearing a bomb short. He was just bringing up stories that are not even in line with what happened. After everything, they calmed me down. I now went back home with my bruises all over my body. So after going back home, he started getting angry. Why should I go and expose him? Blah blah blah, talking a whole lot of things. But that day, I think that beating did not end there. So suddenly, as that day I saw those people, the marriage lifestyle too changed. Because it's as if now he's running two families. When he goes out, he comes back anytime he likes, As a wife, I have to question, where are you coming back from? By this time, you don't even stay at home again. You don't stay with the kids, and then my kids are so tender. I think the senior one was 7 years, and the second one was 3 years, and the last one was just 8 months. So I was like, this is too much. If you don't want this marriage again, why did you bring me to Accra? I started regretting of losing my shop back in Nigeria. I finally came back to Nigeria. I said, I'm not married again. I'm coming home. I wanted to take my kids. He said, no, I'm not going to take any of them. That I can go with the small one because she was just 8 months. So I said, okay, instead of me dying, I think it's better I alive than being dead. So I have come back to Nigeria because then the relationship he was having with the other lady was now obvious. So he's not giving us any attention anymore. And then he still continued with this violent character. So I now came that same 2010 March, I came back to Nigeria. So you can see we've not even spent solid 4 months in Accra. The uncle called me and said, come, I should meet him at Lagos because the uncle based in Lagos and he's somebody I respect in the family. So I went to him. He actually spoke with my family before I went to him because his promise was he's going to settle this marriage. He wants the marriage to work and that he's going to settle the marriage. So at the end of everything, we spent 7 months in the uncle's house. That night, with what he did to me, in the presence of the uncle, I think the uncle self was regretting of bringing me back. Because if he could do such things in the presence of the uncle, trying to beat me, throw my bags out of the fence, at the end, the uncle just told me, this is my promise to both of you, and I'll fulfill it. But I know if anything happens, they will say I'm the one who dragged you back. But anything that wants to happen, just test me, call me, or you test me. That night, I never even knew that the lady was in my matrimonial bedroom. He only told the uncle, but the uncle did not tell me. He just told him that, okay, she's helping you, tell her your wife has come and blah 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 blah. But when the uncle left, my ex-husband took me to the children's room and said, this is where you belong. From today henceforth, this is where you are going to stay. I was like, but in my mind was so strong that I didn't come for you. I came to mind my children. That was the mind I used in coming. So there is no form of jealousy. There is no form of hatred. There is no form of, I'll fight to get my own back. No form of that. My major plan is that I came to mind my children. So even if I want to look like an house girl, at that moment, I was just ready to be like an house girl. because they are my children. So I will not see myself as an house girl to them, and they see me as their mom. So I never minded him. I was in the children's room, but immediately I started looking for another shop, another salon to start my business. Then I have some money, so I started looking for salon. I got the salon, and then I started the salon business October, on the 1st October. In fact, I did even 1st October in my salon with my few Nigeria people I've met. So the business was going on well, and then he found out that I'm not asking him anything. But as a wife, then I was still having this respect of making food for him. When the other lady is around, he will tell me he's not going to eat the food. Then if the lady is not around, he will say I should bring the food. That is how we're living. And one day this man came after 8. I have not closed, and I have a client I am making her hair. And that client is the daughter of the owner of the shop I was renting at us then. And she was the one who linked me to the shop because she is the teacher to my children. So the relationship is just so close. When he came, the children have taken dinner, they've bathed because my shop was having a washroom, they've taken their bath, and they were like, when we go home, just to go and sleep. But he came, I was expecting him to say, okay, let me take the children home while you be coming at our back. But he just came with violence. And to God be the glory, that day, he wanted to use a anger, this towel anger, to hit me, and then anger hits in the glass, that is the door glass, and the glass shattered. Not knowing, the lady, once he stepped in, when she heard his violent words, she on her camera, on her phone. She on her camera. She was taping his voice, and at a time she started videoing. Me myself, I never knew. But I think that day was a day when God wanted to really vindicate me, because in the home violence, the Wajo office, they always ask of who is your weakness? Who is your weakness? They are always asking of who is your weakness. But that day, I was having a God-sent witness who videoed everything that happened that day. And then when we get home, before we get home, the mother of that lady kept me. She advised me, that when I go home, I shouldn't say anything, shouldn't talk anything, that he will insult me, he will insult my parents, he will insult us, everybody, but just to find a way to make trouble, but I shouldn't. And I obeyed her. Then in the morning, I had to go and report to the Wajo.
Do you remember how it felt when you found yourself in a deep mess? When all hope was lost and all doors seemed shut? When friends were few and tears replaced laughter? When the money was out and luck lingered? When sickness ravaged your body and you envied those who could sleep? When your words were few and all you could do was stare? When fear ravaged your heart and depression ate deep into your soul? Did you ever make it through? Did God turn it around for good? Let someone experience love, hope, joy, impetus for action, help through your story. Be loud about your victory and be someone's light today.
I've never seen this kind of love before. I've never seen this kind of God before. Who I be where you love me, so tell you came to die for me on the cross. Oh, I searched and searched and searched, no God like this. I've tried and tried and tried, no love like this. So